Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year indeed. Welcome back to Zach Milne Talks Live, the first show of 2023. It's great to see you guys again. Thank you, everybody who's watching live, watching the replay, listening over at the Zach Milne Talks Movies podcast. I have a couple goals this year, guys, and one of them is to grow this podcast. So if you could do me a favor, link is in the description below for this. If you could subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already, that would be great. And guys, I am so happy to be back with another show, the first show of 2023. News is still a little bit slow, so we're just mostly going to do a live Q&A, Ask Me Anything kind of show today. I do want to go through the 2023 calendar because there's just so many movies that I think would be fun to talk about, so we'll go through that as well. But yeah, guys, how was your Christmas? How was your Hanukkah? How was your holidays? No matter what you celebrate, how was it? How was everything for you guys? I hope it all went well. I had a pretty good one myself. I was really busy. Probably one of the busier holiday seasons I've had in a while, to be honest. And I was tons of time with family. I had to go to another province to visit more family, so it was just hectic a little bit for me. So I didn't get out to see Puss in Boots, which I was kind of disappointed by. I was really looking forward to seeing that movie and such. But let's see what's going on in the chat. Oh, wow. Schofield Studios, thank you so much. You were giving me some homework. You're ready to go. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. We got Luke Ponto, of course, in here. My man, Luke Ponto. My man, Zach, what's going on? Hope all is well and Happy New Year. Well, Happy New Year to you too, Luke. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, man. Thanks for being here, dude. I'm excited. I'm excited for this year, guys. I'm really excited. I mean, I have goals for this channel. I wasn't able to see as many movies as a lot of other people were last year, and I still won't be able to see everything this year, but I do plan to see more movies. I want to do more reviews. I want to grow this live show. I want to bring more people into our community. I'm so grateful and so proud of the community that we have been building over the course of just a couple months, because I think I started this live show well, I guess it's almost been a year since I've done this live show. So in a year, we've really grown a great community. I love talking with you guys. I love having you guys here. It's been great. And our subscriber goal as well this year, guys, is 2,500. It's just over 1,000 from where I'm at now. It's probably my most ambitious goal that I've set for a year yet. But I really do believe more than ever that we can hit it. So if you haven't subscribed yet and you like the show, you like what you see here, please hit the subscribe button. Help us out, guys. Help us hit that goal. Caleb Richardson, thank you for joining us tonight, Caleb. Happy to have you in here, man. Happy New Year, everyone. Hope everyone had a great day. Also, happy Star Wars Bad Batch Day. That's right, for you Star Wars animated fans, the Bad Batch came out today, so I hope you guys enjoy that. Luke Ponto, watched anything good lately? I'm 30 minutes into RRR right now, and it's very interesting. I'm enjoying it so far. I haven't finished it, obviously, if I'm only 30 minutes into it. But other than that, I didn't catch too many new things while I was on holidays. But yeah, I'm in the middle of RRR. Luke Ponto, I've gathered some physical media over the holiday season. I bet you have, Luke. I bet you have. I've gotten a couple little things. I picked up Christopher Robin at a shop that I was at, and I got Black Adam from Warner Brothers in the mail, and I think that's all I really picked up. I didn't do too much, but I got one or two things. All right, guys, and like the title says, this is going to be a 2023 preview for the year, but also this is going to be an Ask Me Anything Q&A, live question and answer, guys. So if you want to drop some, we've already got a lot from Schofield, so that's awesome. Thank you so much, Schofield. But if you guys want to drop some questions that you have for me, or just any topic you guys want to talk about, feel free to do that in the chat down below. And this has a bit of a delay. This has about a 15 seconds delay. So while these words are getting to you guys, I just want to quickly, while you guys are putting in your questions and working hard at that, I want to talk a little bit about this year for movies, because this year, guys, is insane. Cinema Blend has a great breakdown of the year. See if I can make that a little bit bigger while you guys type in your questions. And maybe you want to talk a little bit about the movie year itself. So this might help you with your get your questions in. So in January, we got January. Basically coming out in 2 days, but I'm pretty sure some people are seeing this tonight. We got Megan, and going with the whole I'm gonna want to see more movies this year. I'm seeing Megan on Saturday, guys. A movie I usually would not go see, I'm going to see with my cousins. So there'll be a review for that probably Monday at the latest. But I'm a little nervous going in, but also the trailer to me looked really goofy, really silly. So I'm also kind of really anticipating it. We're not going to go through all these movies, obviously, just the ones that kind of stick out to me. A Man Called Otto. Otto? I don't know. A Man Called Something. With Tom Hanks. That looks pretty good. That's coming out on the 13th. Missing is one that's interesting, coming out on Friday, January 20th. It's a sequel. It's a spinoff of that Searching film that they did all through the computer and the phone. I actually enjoyed that film, so I'm looking forward to seeing what Missing does. But the trailer for Missing looked like they went a little bit overboard with that concept, but we'll see what happens. Going into February, of course, a huge one, Knock at the Cabin, which is going to be M. Night Shyamalan's next movie, which you never really know what you're going to get with an M. Night Shyamalan movie, but the trailer, the trailer for that looked pretty interesting. Of course, on the 17th, you got Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So excited for that. I really hope that this Ant-Man movie brings back the overarching MCU story that we got so much through phase 1, 2, and 3. I think we got the most in phase 3 and phase 2, but I missed that. I missed that so much. But with the introduction of Kang, I feel like there's hope to get that back. And then, of course, on February 24th, we got Cocaine Bear. Guys, this is going to go either one or two ways. I think this movie could be really funny, really awesome, or just a train wreck. But either way, I'm really excited to see what this is going to end up being. March. March is where we get into it. March is when it's just back to back with hits. First of all, starting in March, we got Scream 6. I haven't seen Scream 5 yet. I'm actually going on Luke Ponto's channel on... When is it, Luke? I have it on my calendar. Friday, January 6th. We're gonna do a watch along of Scream, the first film, and then I'm definitely gonna be back on his channel when they get to Scream 5. He wants me to watch it for the first time with him, so we're gonna do that. And then we get Creed 3 on the 3rd. Then Scream 6 is on March 10th. Okay. We get Shazam: Fury of the Gods and 65 on March 17th. So I might have to pick which one. I'm probably gonna go with Shazam. Although 65 was in my most anticipated list. If that was 20, Shazam would have been in there. But I might go with Shazam and then go see 65. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll do a double feature if I get around to it. Then on March 24th, we got John Wick Chapter 4, which I'm super excited about. March 31st, you get Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that one. I'm not a Dungeons & Dragons guy, so I'm not really anticipating that all too much. What else we got here? We're going to April. Let's just go into April. So for a lot of people on April, Super Mario Brothers the movie on April 7th, that's going to be a big one. I'm looking forward to that. The trailers have been so beautiful to look at, so much fun. I hope they nail the story. I hope it's a fun movie. For a lot of people on April 21st, Evil Dead Rise. I know the trailer just came out for that. No, I have not watched it. I don't want to. I've seen the first Evil Dead and I've seen Army of Darkness. I haven't seen Evil Dead 2 or the remake, but it's not a franchise that's really my thing. I'm not a big horror guy, and those ones didn't really grab me, although I liked the practical effects and everything. Moving on to May. May, we get Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. If you watch my most anticipated movies video that I did for 2023, you know that that's my most anticipated movie of the year. I cannot wait to see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. James Gunn has just been on a roll lately, so I hope that continues into Guardians Volume 3. For some people, on May 12th, Book Club 2. I know that was kind of like an underrated comedy that came out, what was it, like 2018 or 2017? I can't really remember, but I remember it being like an underrated hit. I never did see it, though. On Friday, May 19th, we get Fast 10. Which, I mean, I know a lot of people kind of jumped off the Fast and Furious train after Fast 9. I didn't actually see Fast 9 yet, but I do think that Fast 10 is still going to be a big hit. Then we get into June, so this is like the summer season, and this is a huge summer season. This is the biggest summer season by far since 2019. On June 2nd, we get Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which I know a ton of people are excited for. I watched a lot of most anticipated lists over the past weeks, and at number one for many of them were either Dune Part 2 or Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, so I know a lot of people are looking forward to that one. On June 9th, we get Transformers Rise of the Beast, which I actually think looks really cool. I really liked Bumblebee. This seems to be jumping off of the Bumblebee kind of world of Transformers, so I'm really looking forward to seeing that one. On June 16th, we get Elemental. That's going to be a big one from Pixar. The trailer for that looked super cute. Friday, June 23rd. See, this is just boom, 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 weekend after weekend after weekend. On June 23rd, we get The Flash, which I know a lot of people have kind of written off because of the shenanigans and stuff that Ezra Miller, the star of the movie, has been doing. But I really am excited for The Flash. I think it's going to be a treat. If you believe the stuff that you hear from the chatter of the insiders in the industry, apparently it's like DC's really excited about this movie. They think they've got a huge hit. They really like how the movie turned out. Andy Muschietti is a director I really like. Michael Keaton's coming back as Batman, as well as Ben Affleck's coming in as Batman. They're playing with the multiverse. I'm really looking forward to that. On June 30th, we get Harold and the Purple Crayon, which I'm kind of confused by because I think that was like a little cartoon that used to play on I don't know, a kid's network when I was a kid. I recognize the name, and I have a vague memory of a baby drawn with a purple crayon, so I don't know. Then we get into July. In July, we get July 7th, you got Insidious, Fear the Dark. Insidious, I know, is a big horror franchise for a lot of people. I've only seen like half of the first one. July 14th, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Cannot wait for this to finally come out. It's been so freaking long. Both Tom Cruise movies, Top Gun Maverick and Mission Impossible, have just taken forever to finally get to the screen. I hope that this one is as much of a treat as Top Gun Maverick was when it finally comes out. On July 21st, you get Barbie and Oppenheimer, which that's going to be an interesting day to see which one outdoes the other. A lot of people are excited about Barbie. I'm not there yet. The trailers just look a little bit too weird, and I'm not quite sure what it is for me to get excited yet. But I will say that teaser was very inventive, doing the whole 2001: A Space Odyssey thing. I really liked that. Oppenheimer, of course, Christopher Nolan. Super excited for that. I know it's like a biopic based off of the guy that created the nuclear bomb, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with that. July 28th, I almost forget that this comes out, but The Marvels is coming out this year. I'm really looking forward to The Marvels. Again, if I did a top 20 most anticipated instead of top 15, The Marvels would have been in there. I'm just excited to see Miss Marvel again on the big screen. I'm hoping the story's good. Monica Rambeau is coming in there as well as Brie Larson's Captain Marvel. I think The Marvels could be a lot of fun. And then we get to August, and August, it just keeps going, guys. August 4th, we get Meg 2, The Trench. I wasn't a huge fan of the first Meg movie, to be honest. I wanted it to be cheesier and cornier than it ended up being, but I didn't even realize they were doing a sequel until I started looking at what was coming out this year for my most anticipated list, and I was like, Meg 2, that came out of nowhere. On the same day, you get Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, which is that Seth Rogen animated Turtles movie that's coming out. I'm looking forward to that. That's where I'll be. Before I see Meg 2, I'm definitely going to see the Turtles. Hopefully, this is a Turtles property that, as a Turtles fan, I can enjoy as an adult, because it's been a really long time since I've had a Turtles property that I felt like I could do that. On August 11th, I think the one out of here is going to be Haunted Mansion. I haven't even seen the Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy, I believe, is in the first one. So there's not too much on this day that I'm looking forward to. But then we get August 18th, you get Blue Beetle. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Blue Beetle is about, because they moved it from HBO Max to a theatrical release because apparently it was just so good. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that. Let's see. And then we get into September. And September, we get Equalizer 3 on September 1st, The Nun 2 on September 8th, Expendables 4 on September 22nd. I'm not a huge fan of the Expendables franchise, but I might check that out. That is the freakiest photo I've ever seen. I've seen that movie too. And then we get into October. Friday, October 6th, we get Kraven the Hunter. Morbius has killed any excitement and anticipation I could have for Kraven the Hunter. I'm rooting for it. I'm hoping it's good because I want to see a good movie, but I don't know, man. That studio, Sony, what are you doing with your Spider-Man villain movies? What are you doing? What are you doing over there? What you doing? What is this? Friday, October 13th, you get The Exorcist, which is the remake that they're doing. You also get Paw Patrol, the Mighty Movie. So for any of you Paw Patrol fans out there, that's going to be a fun day. Friday, October 27th, you get Saw 10. I can't believe there's 10 of those movies, but I'm sure a lot of you are going to be excited about that. And then we get into November, and this is going to be a big one for you guys. Dune Part 2. I haven't seen the first Dune yet. I didn't tell myself, but I committed to waiting to see Dune until this year, so that I didn't have to wait so long for Part 2. I missed it in theaters anyways, so I figured, you know what, why watch the movie and then have to wait like everybody else? I'll just watch the movie before Part 2 comes out and springboard into the next one. Friday, November 10th, we get Chicken Run Dawn of the Nugget. That's going to be on Netflix. I still can't believe they're doing a Chicken Run sequel. I feel like this already came out, though. It kind of just like came and went in my mind, and it hasn't even come out yet. On November 17th, we get a Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Not a huge Hunger Games fan of the franchise, but I'm very curious to see what this could be. I know it's a prequel. Rachel Zegler's in it, so that's pretty cool. And then you get Trolls 3. Haven't seen any of the Trolls movies, so don't really care. And Wish, which is going to be, I believe, Wish is the 100th animated Disney movie, so that's going to be monumental for them. On December 15th, you get Wonka, which I'm kind of interested in. Timothée Chalamet, kind of given a prequel of the Willy Wonka character, which I wasn't a huge fan of them doing a little bit of that in the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory that Tim Burton did. But this looks actually kind of interesting from the stills and photos that's been released. On December 20th, we're getting a Ghostbusters sequel. I guess that's a sequel to Afterlife. I wasn't huge on Afterlife like everybody else. I thought it was okay. It kind of became a remake of the first film near the end, and that's when it kind of lost me. But I'm looking forward to seeing the sequel, and I know a lot of people are too. And then, of course, December 25th. Well, December 22nd is Migration, but I don't know what that is. But December 25th, which if the next year's holidays or anything like this year's holidays, I might actually have to miss this one because it comes out on Christmas Day. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is coming out on December 25th, the sequel, and possibly the last movie of the DCEU as we know it up until this point, Aquaman, the Lost Kingdom. But guys, the bottom line is, like, this is just insane. And then these are dates to be announced, to be decided, so they haven't even figured these out, if these are coming out yet or not. We got A Quiet Place Part 3 might be coming out this year. I didn't hear anything about that. I heard about the spinoff, but not Part 3. Beverly Hills Cop is coming back on Netflix. That's interesting. And Extraction 2, the sequel from the Chris Hemsworth movie. So there's just a lot coming out. I don't know, guys. I mean, I'm kind of overwhelmed. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a little overwhelmed by everything that's coming out this year. It just seems like so much. But what are you guys most excited about this year? You guys can start putting it in the chat below. And without further ado, I'm sure that's been enough time. Let's start getting to your questions, and I'll answer them. Let's go. Let's get to your Q&A. We're going to start at the top with Schofield Studios. What is your most controversial review? My most controversial review? Well, I liked Thor: Love and Thunder, and I know a lot of people didn't. I think Nope. People have gotten on me a little bit about Nope because I wasn't a huge fan of the movie, and a lot of people loved Nope. I also think Pinocchio, Disney's Pinocchio, because Disney's Pinocchio that came out in 2022 was hated the minute it dropped. And I watched it, and I was like, wow, this movie is going to be trash, but I'm going to watch it anyways. And I didn't really see what everyone else was seeing. Maybe I just didn't feel like it was worth getting worked up over, but I actually kind of had a decent time with Pinocchio on Disney Plus. I didn't think it was the best movie ever or anything like that, but I don't know. Some people probably didn't like that I liked that movie just enough to even I think I gave it a weak recommend, which I stand by. Schofield Studios goes on to say, what's a movie you liked at first but hated on rewatch? That's really easy for me. That is Suicide Squad, the first Suicide Squad. Because Suicide Squad 2016 is a movie that I went in with friends and watched, and they were like fangirls of the property, so they were like fangirling over everything, and I was fangirling over everything with them. And there was some cool moments in Suicide Squad that I think distracted me from how messy the plotting and the story was. And then I told my dad, I told my cousin, I told my brother, I told everybody, I told all my friends that I knew that Suicide Squad was awesome. You've got to see Suicide Squad. And so I took my dad and my brother to go see Suicide Squad. I think it was like the next day or somewhere around close to that. And I was watching the movie, and it just kind of fell apart before my eyes. And I was like, oh my gosh, I recommended this to like all the people I know, and this is not a good movie. So that was embarrassing. A movie that I hated, that vice versa, that I ended up liking afterwards. I didn't hate it, and we just kind of did talk about it, but Nope has grown on me a little bit more. Like when I left the theater, I was kind of indecisive of how I really felt about it. Even when I did my review, I was kind of indecisive, but upon rewatch and thinking about it a little bit more, it's grown on me a little bit more. My problems with it still remain, but I'm not as disappointed with it as I once was. Schofield Studios, do you prefer The Room, Birdemic, or Troll 2 on movies so bad they're good? Probably The Room, but both of those or all of those are pretty... Well, I haven't seen Troll 2, but all of those are pretty bad and kind of boring, to be honest. The Room is kind of boring. Once you get past all the funny lines, unless you're watching that with a group... I find The Room to be very dull, and it's not an enjoyable watch to watch alone. Even like the clips that you find on YouTube are really all you need from The Room. Schofield Studios, a video game that can make for a great movie. I'm not a huge gamer. I'm not a very big gamer. So I'm not sure how I would answer that. I haven't played a game in a really like a video game in a really long time. I mean, I could say like The Simpsons Hit and Run, make another Simpsons movie and do Simpsons Hit and Run. Like all the games that I've played are like from 2004 because I was like stuff that I played as a child in my childhood. But I haven't played the oldest. I'll give you this. The oldest or the newest system I have is a PS4 or an Xbox 360, whichever one came the latest. That's the latest one I own. I don't have a PS5. I don't have an Xbox One. I've got an Xbox 360 and I've got a PS4, both of which my family got for free when I was growing up through circumstances, and I've just kind of taken along with me as I moved out. So I'm not a huge video game person. Schofield Studios, movies that made you hungry for food. If you want to get recent, The Menu. Won't give it away, but the ending of The Menu is going to make you want a cheeseburger. And kind of weird, but Sausage Party, that animated Seth Rogen film. I remember getting hungry after watching that, and I don't really know why, because the food didn't really look that appealing. But nonetheless, maybe I just watched it on too empty of a stomach. Schofield Studios, movies so bad they are boring. I go with Star Trek the Motion Picture. I'm not a big Star Trek fan. I know a lot of people would probably take that as sacrilegious. But Star Trek the Motion Picture is so... What's the right word? Slow. It's not even like a slow burn. It just is boring. It feels like instead of them being an entertaining crew, it feels like you're kind of like actually on the job with them. You're just kind of watching them walk. I don't remember. I haven't seen it in years. I just remember being bored out of my skull watching that movie. Everything just moved so slowly. Schofield Studios, films with the worst shot action scenes. The Taken films kind of go downhill one after the other. Probably the worst would be Taken 3. There is some really shoddy editing in Taken 3. Some of the worst editing I've seen is in Taken 3. So I'll go with that. Schofield Studios, worst Spielberg film. I actually haven't seen all the Spielberg films. That's something that I was actually planning on doing this year. Is I want to go through directors that are like popular and go through their filmography and watch movies that I haven't seen yet. If I had to go based off of what I've seen, probably Hook. I didn't hate Hook, but I thought Hook was kind of weak for a Spielberg film. I thought it was kind of weird. So I'll go with that. Schofield Studios, iconic movies you think are overrated. I don't know, sticking with Spielberg, I'm not a huge fan of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I don't know, I just didn't get into the hype of it. Which, like, before I watched it, I only watched it recently, like, last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago. You know, it was, like, raved about. It was a classic. I saw it everywhere on like, top 100 best movies lists and stuff like that, but it was fine. I understand why. It just wasn't one for me. Schofield Studios, the longest movie you have ever seen. Well, the longest feeling movie I've ever seen is Transformers Age of Extinction. I thought that experience was never going to end, and I hated every second of it when I saw that in theaters. The longest movie I've ever seen is got to be Gone with the Wind. No. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Zack Snyder's Justice League was 4 hours long. I don't think I've ever seen another 4 hour long movie. So yeah, Zack Snyder's Justice League was the longest movie I ever saw up until this point. Right. And that's all Schofield. So let's go down here. Let's see what else we've got. Luke Ponto says, I've been playing a lot of Mario Kart and Super Smash Brothers Ultimate on my Nintendo Switch because I got a Nintendo Switch for Christmas. That's awesome, dude. That's great. Sounds like a great Christmas gift. Mario Kart 8. I don't know any of the Mario Karts, but I do like playing Mario Kart. They all kind of blend the same to me. I don't know which ones are which. And Super Smash Bros. I suck at, so I just don't play it because it destroys my confidence. Luke Ponto, I plan to see May Thregan this week. I know what it is. It's Megan. This weekend because I've heard good things. Yeah, I've only heard a couple things. I haven't heard like amazing things. I'm trying not to see too many things because I kind of want to go in surprised. The trailer though, I got the trailer. I believe I got it before Violent Night was the last time I saw it. and it was an experience. It was weird. She was dancing, like TikTok dancing, and then chasing kids in the woods on all fours, and I was kind of just sitting there like, what is this movie? So yeah, I'm gonna see it on Saturday. I'm gonna bite the bullet. I'm gonna take a look at it, but I don't know if I'm anticipating it necessarily. I just want to see more movies and get more reviews out there for you guys this year, because I feel like I mean, it wasn't my fault. It was all COVID related, but I didn't do enough of that last year, so I'm hoping to do that more this year. Lupanto, Plane looks interesting. I might see that next weekend. I might see Plane as well. I looked a little bit into it, so I might see that as well. Schofield Studios, if you liked Searching, you should see Host 2020. Yeah, I've never heard of Host. I'll have to check that out. Thanks for putting that on my radar, man. Schofield Studios, even M. Night's worst movies are entertaining. Yeah, M. Night Shyamalan's another one that I have to go through his filmography. I haven't seen everything from him, but The Happening is probably, The Happening is probably so bad it's good, better than The Room and better than Birdemic and Trolls 2. That's a pretty interesting movie. I haven't seen his last Airbender movie. I'm considering watching that. I'm considering watching all of the M. Night Shyamalan movies that I haven't watched yet. Before Knock at the Cabin comes out, because I'll probably do a ranking of them once that comes out. But I don't know if I want to sit through movies that I hear are just awful, like The Last Airbender, like Lady in the Water. I've seen After Earth so long ago I hardly even remember it, so I'd probably have to watch that to refresh my memory. And I haven't seen Old, and I hear mixed things on Old, so we'll have to see. Lupanto, the trailer for Knock at the Cabin looked so much like Straw Dogs. You know what surprised me about Knock at the Cabin when I watched the trailer? Rupert Grint, is that his name? Is in it? The Harry Potter guy, Ron from Harry Potter. I thought he retired. Like, I don't know why. I've seen him on a talk show recently, I guess, or was it very recently? It was a couple months ago, a couple years ago. And I thought he was talking about just like living in England with his family and retiring, and he didn't do any. I was surprised to see him in the trailer for Knock at the Cabin. I was like, hey, it's Ron. That's interesting. Haven't seen him in a while. Lupanto, Scream 6 looks awesome. Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched Scream 5 yet. I'm looking forward to watching that. I'll wait for the watch along. But I really liked the teaser for Scream 6 taking place in New York on the subway station. It was kind of creepy. It was kind of freaky. I'm looking forward to checking out both Scream 5 and Scream 6. Lupanto, we do got a good panel lined up for Scream. Oh, we got a good panel lined up for Scream on Friday. Awesome, dude. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Luke Ponto, the Super Mario Brothers movie is going to be freaking awesome. My most anticipated movie of 2023. Dude, I really hope so. I really hope that it is awesome. I hope that it's good. It looks great, but that's the key right there. It looks great. The animation could not be any better. The world is perfect. It's just the story I'm worried about. I hope it's a good story. I hope it's a fun story. But I recently did a little short of the top 5 movies I think could potentially be the highest grossing films of 2023. And I do think Super Mario Brothers has the potential to be the highest grossing film of 2023 if it's as cute, if it's as fun and funny and has a good story. I think families will really dig it, and Mario's been around for so long. He's got so many fans. I think a lot of them would come out to support the movie if they heard that it was really good. I'm hopeful for that movie, man. I'm really hopeful. Luke Ponto, I didn't know they were making a sequel to a movie called Book Club. Yep, Book Club 2. It's coming out. Those ladies are back in town. I haven't seen the first one, so I don't have anything else to say about that. Luke Ponto, Fast 9 is horrible. Yeah, I've been meaning to watch that for a while, and I just haven't. And I've seen it in my local Walmart so many times with the price gone down. I think it's at $10 right now, or it was $10 on Boxing Day or something. Oh, I didn't go out on Boxing Day. Maybe it was Black Friday. I saw it on $10, but it was $10 at some point, and I had it in my hand, and I almost bought it just to watch it, and I just put it back because I'm like, I'm just hearing so many things, and I'm not ready. But I'll watch it before Fast 10 for sure. Not a huge fan of the Fast and Furious movies. I like some of them, but Caleb Richardson, I think the D&D movie could be a smash hit. Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about Dungeons & Dragons. I'm not a Dungeons & Dragons player. I never got into it. But I know a lot of people are, and a lot of people are excited about this movie, and I'm happy for them, man. I hope it turns out good. Caleb Richardson, I personally hope it's not a straightforward fantasy story, but a story of fictional people playing D&D together, and we get flashes between real life and what's going on in the game. Yeah, that would be fun. What I hope for Dungeons and Dragons is it's an inviting movie. You know, I hope that it doesn't. And I don't know. I haven't even watched the trailer for this, to be honest, because I just haven't really had interest. I hope that it's a movie that if I went to go see it, having never played Dungeons and Dragons, I can still have a good time, understand the movie, and enjoy myself. I hope it doesn't alienate those who haven't played Dungeons and Dragons and just focuses on the fans of the game. Because then that'll lose me. But I don't know. I'll probably check it out. Luke Ponto, I did get Vengeance for Christmas. You got to check that movie out. I know, man. I got to check it out. Schofield Studios is seconding you. Yep. Vengeance was great. Yeah, I know. I got to see it. Luke Ponto, August last year was slow. Oh, something's coming up. Nope. Remind me tomorrow. Don't restart my computer today. Stupid updates. Luke Ponto, August last year was slow. The only two that popped out were Bullet Train and Beast. Yeah, I still haven't seen Bullet Train. I wanted to see Bullet Train over the holiday time that I had off, but I just never got around to it. Oh, I'm gonna watch that movie soon. But yeah, like I said, this year, the amount of movies that are coming out has not been this packed, has not been this good since 2019, and this might even surpass 2019. I'd have to go back and look. What I remember the most about 2019 was Bumblebee, Aquaman, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse all came out around like the same time in December, and that was crazy. But yeah, I'm very optimistic for this year. I think it's got so much potential. Caleb Richardson, this year is stacked. My wallet is gonna hate me by June, July from seeing at least 2 or 3 new movies per month and playing at least 1 new video game per month. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be my wallet might hate me too. I don't know if I'm going to be able to even see everything. Like everything that I want to see, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to see. There's just so much. But I got a lot of gift cards from like Christmas and birthdays and stuff like that, and I've got like I don't know if you guys have anything like in Canada, we have a thing called scene points. I don't know if that's a thing where you guys are with your movie theaters, but you earn points as you see movies. So like as I go to see movies, I get like free movies, and I've got so many free movies like piled up that I almost like can see. I don't know. I probably have like 3 free movies, and I don't go see everything. So whenever I go to the movies, I usually just use one of those free movies. And but with everything coming out this year, I don't know if I'm gonna be able. I'm gonna have to throw out some cash. Schofield Studios says there's bots are everywhere. There's bots in here. I don't see any bots. Maybe I might have muted them. I don't know. I don't see anything though. But thank you for letting me know, Schofield Studios, that there's bots. I'll keep an eye out for them. Luke Ponto, we don't need a sequel to The Nun. The first one was horrible. Yep, didn't even bother seeing it. The Nun was scary enough in The Conjuring Part 2. And I think I had a friend that wanted me to go. Yeah, I did have a friend that wanted me to go see The Nun Part 2 in theaters. And I just said nope, and I kind of held my ground on that, and we never went to go see it. So, not ashamed. Caleb Richardson, holy crap, please don't destroy or making a movie. They're the best part of SNL these days. Oh, that was the untitled Please Don't Destroy. I didn't know what that was, so I just skipped over it. I haven't watched SNL in a while. So that's an SNL skit that they're turning into a movie. Those are mixed. They either turn out like Wayne's World. And I'll throw in Tommy Boy in there. I don't even know if Tommy Boy is based off of an SNL skit, though. But I know it's an SNL actor, Chris Farley, who was in it. But there's some other SNL movies that didn't turn out too good. I guess The Blues Brothers is an SNL movie that turned out good. Schofield Studios, the first Annabelle movies was bad, and the sequel was nice. I never saw the first Annabelle movie. I did see Annabelle Creation, though. And I did like that one. My friend and I watched that, and I enjoyed it. Caleb Richardson, I'm looking forward to the Netflix shows for Ghostbusters. They're making both a live action show and an animated show. Really? I didn't know they were making a Netflix Ghostbusters live action show. That's interesting. I'm actually really intrigued by that. I'm very curious about that. That could be fun. An animated show, that doesn't really interest me. I'm not a big animated show guy, as you guys know. But a live action show on Netflix. Count me in. Luke Ponto, I saw Puss in Boots: The Last Wish last Saturday, and it was awesome. Best animated movie of 2022. That's what everyone keeps saying, and those reviews were incredible. We covered them on the show a couple weeks ago back in 2022. I was really looking forward to Puss in Boots. It just didn't work out for me. I didn't see it. At this point, I'm probably just going to wait until it comes out on streaming. But yeah, that was one I was bummed to miss. I think of all of 2022, Bullet Train and Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, those are the ones that I was bummed that I missed out on seeing in theaters. What you gonna do? Caleb Richardson. Actually, that A Quiet Place movie coming out is not A Quiet Place 3. Yeah, it's a prequel that's supposed to be coming out in 2024. Okay, so it's not even supposed to come out in 2023. That's why. Okay, so that's not fully updated yet. Cinema Blend should update that. A Quiet Place 3 is the next movie after that. Okay, yeah, that Quiet Place prequel series. I'm intrigued by that too. I'm a little worried. I thought A Quiet Place and A Quiet Place Part 2 were so good, but by the end of A Quiet Place 2, I was kind of feeling like A Quiet Place Part 3 might be the place to end it if they could. A spin-off movie I'm intrigued by, but there's just so much that you can do with the concept of not being able to make a sound, or the alien creatures will come get you, that I think they can do that. And John Krasinski was such a good helm at these two movies. I know that he's not doing the spin-off movie, so that makes me a little bit worried. Until I get more information of who's doing it, I can't get too excited for it, but I am intrigued. I'm very intrigued. Caleb Richardson, thoughts on Disney and 20th Century Fox announcing that they're remaking Office Space for Hulu as a limited series? I'm not a big fan of Office Space, to be honest. I don't know if I have it nearby me. I probably don't. Yeah, I don't. My mom bought me one year a pop figure of one of the guys from Office Space because she thought it was Dwight from The Office, and it was really funny. I was like, this is the wrong Office, not the right character. But they're remaking Office Space as a Hulu limited series. Honestly, I don't. That doesn't get me that excited or not excited. I'll probably not even watch it. Office Space wasn't for me. Wasn't my thing. Wow, we did a jump here. Here we go. Luke Ponto. If you think Taken 3 has choppy action, you ain't seen nothing with the 355. That movie is horribly directed. Yep, I missed the 355, and you know what? I'm not sad. I'm not sad at all that I missed 355. I did hear that the action in that was pretty choppy and awful, which is too bad. And I think it was the guy who did X-Men Dark Phoenix that directed that movie, right? I think Simon Kingbird, is that his name? I can't remember. But yeah, that's too bad. That's really too bad. All right, guys. We are going to take just a short break right now before we continue on with the comments and questions. You guys can keep putting in those questions, and I'll keep answering them. Thank you guys so much for the engagement tonight. This has been great. But before we move on, let me just tell you real quickly about Movie Palette. No, I won't, because it doesn't want to work. Never mind. All right, we'll just keep going. I don't know what that's all about, but technical difficulties. Bottom line is, this is a Movie Palette. You can get one. The link is in the description below, and it's pretty cool. Use the code ZachTalks15 at the checkout to get 15% off. Yep, that's all I'll say for now. That went well. Let's move on. Hello there. Hey, hi. I cannot wait until June to see Transformers Rise of the Beast. I need it now. Yeah, I'll say, I mean, I liked the first Transformers from Michael Bay. Mostly for nostalgia, I would say. I mean, I remember seeing that in theaters. My dad took me to see Transformers in 2007 in theaters, and my mind was blown when those Transformers transformed for the first time and seeing them on screen. It was amazing. Even when I saw Transformers 2 at a young age, I kind of knew it wasn't a good movie. I just didn't fully know why it wasn't a good movie. And Transformers 3, Dark of the Moon, I do like. The action scene in the third act is just incredible. I hate Age of Extinction. I hate The Last Night. And I really enjoyed Bumblebee. I love Bumblebee. So Transformers as a franchise has been a big hit and miss for me. But Rise of the Beast, you got Stephen Cable Jr. coming off of Creed 2 to do this one. new to the Transformers franchise. Looking forward to seeing what he can bring to it. And that trailer looked really cool. So I am looking forward to Transformers Rise of the Beast. If I did a top 20 most anticipated for 2023 instead of a top 15, this also would have made the cut for the top 20. Sixberry's in here. Well, welcome, Sixberry. Thank you for being here tonight. Happy to have you here. How excited are you for Quantumania? I am moderately excited. I'll say that. I'm not super hyped about Quantumania. I don't want to get super hyped because I do think there is a chance that the movie will let me down. The Ant-Man movies have been very small-scaled stories and movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe up until this point. So the director did say, he came out in an interview recently and said that they do have an Avengers-level movie here. At least he claims to have an Avengers-level scaled movie with Ant-Man Quantumania. So that gets me excited if that's the case, a big, huge movie with Ant-Man. But I'm trying to keep my expectations a little bit lower. But I am very excited to see Kang. I'm very excited to see the consequences that this will hopefully have going forward into Phase 5. What I hope from Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania the most is that this movie ends with the feeling of like, this is the beginning of an overarching story for Phase 5, 6, 7, whatever it's going to be going forward that Phase 1, 2, and 3 had. Because that's what's been missing from Phase 4. I think for a lot of people, including myself. I want to feel like big things are about to happen again in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's my hope. But I am excited for Quantumania. Sixberry goes on to say, what will you watch first, Barbie or Oppenheimer? At the moment, Oppenheimer I will watch first because it's Christopher Nolan. I love Christopher Nolan movies. The cast is freaking amazing. You got Josh Peck in there from Drake and Josh. I kind of want to go and see him on the big screen because that would be the first for me. I've never seen Josh Peck on the big screen. But Barbie, man, people on Twitter are excited about this movie, aren't they? Many film fans are excited about this, and I get it. It looks beautiful. It's got Margot Robbie. Greta Gerwig is directing it. I just don't have enough information or details or footage to get me excited for Barbie yet. I'm still very confused about what this is. I just don't understand it. I don't see the vision yet. And until I can see more of the vision and understand a little bit more about what this is exactly, then I'll get excited for Barbie, or I won't get excited for Barbie. We'll see which way it goes. But at the moment, in this time, right now, I will say that I will watch Oppenheimer first. If I had to go into a theater right now, I'd be going into Oppenheimer's theater. Luke Poncho says, I'm on the side that really enjoyed Old. Okay, that's good. I like hearing that. I trust your opinions, Luke. So I like hearing that you liked Old because that makes it easier for me to hit play. Sixberry, what's the best movie... Oh, what's the best poster movie you have? The best poster that I have? It's actually not even in here. It's probably in my closet because I couldn't find... Well, I do like Endgame. I do have Endgame here. You can't really see it, but I love that poster. I just love having it. I've got a Terminator poster over there of the first film that I really like. I do like this Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 poster. This was the teaser poster that they did for the film. It's not my favorite poster that I have, though. I think my favorite poster is probably in my closet right now. It's probably one of my Star Wars ones. I have the classic Star Wars poster from the VHS that I had as a kid where they're hand-drawn, and Luke looks like super ripped, like way more ripped than Luke was in Star Wars. And he's holding up the lightsaber, and it glows into the sky, and Princess Leia is there, and they're on the rock, and Darth Vader and the Death Star are faded in the background. I love that poster. I have that poster. I don't know why I don't have it hanging up. I should really hang that poster up in here, but it's in my closet. I love that poster. Sixberry, do you like Ezra Miller's Flash? That is an interesting question. In the Justice League cut, as people like to call it, which is really just the studio's cut. I don't blame Joss Whedon too much for that movie. But in the Justice League theatrical cut, no. I do not. In the Zack Snyder Justice League cut, I actually do. I actually did like Ezra Miller's Flash in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I thought he was a huge improvement. I thought that he was annoying in the Justice League theatrical cut. and just like with terrible jokes, just always talking, like just shut up, dude, is what I wanted to yell at the screen every time he was on screen for the Justice League theatrical cut. But in Zack Snyder's Justice League, he was much more digestible. He was much better, and he actually had some really cool moments. So, if they go forward with the Flash movie and they do Zack Snyder's Justice League Flash, I think I'll like him in the movie. If they do Joss Whedon's written Ezra Miller in the Flash, that actually might destroy the movie for me. We'll have to wait and see. It's kind of a flip of a coin, isn't it? Luke Ponto. Have you seen the movie The Limey? It stars Terrence Stamp and Louis Guzman, and it's directed by Steven Soderbergh. No, I have not. I have not seen the movie The Limey. Thanks for putting that on my radar, man. I'll have to check that out eventually. But no, I have not seen that. I haven't even heard of that, to be honest. Luke Ponto. It feels like we get a packed year of movies every 4 years. I mean, the pandemic definitely created that this year. You can't blame them at all, right? Like, no one knew what to do with the pandemic with COVID. No one knew what was going on. Not even the movie theaters knew what to do. I mean, freaking Warner Brothers dropped all of their releases on HBO Max the same day because they were so confused about what to do and just wanted to get stuff out there, which destroyed their relationship with Legendary. Now they've moved on to Sony, and the guy who made that decision is fired and out of there. David Zaslav's come in and everything. So that was a bad decision, but everyone was just kind of like, what do we do? We can't put movies in theaters. But I definitely think that's changing, especially if this year has anything to say about it. I hope that this is the norm going forward and we get great years like this. And hopefully the years like 2020 and 2021 was pretty barren too. Hopefully behind us. Sixberry, rate Avatar The Way of Water. Okay, well, I don't usually do number ratings. The way I like to do it, the way that I've landed on the channel is recommendations or not recommendations. I mean, the lowest one is a strong not recommend. The highest one is a strong recommend, and then everything is kind of in the middle. It's a recommend. I gave it a recommend in my review. If I had to give it a number, the first Avatar is a 7 out of 10, and Avatar The Way of Water is an 8 out of 10. There was still some things in the story, in the plot, that I wasn't fully in love with. I do think that second act drags a bit. I won't get into specifics or details, but I did really like the movie, though. I can't quite get it to love. Like, I can't quite say I loved the movie, but I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. I walked out with my cousin and my brother. They loved it. They raved about it. My cousin's already seen it like 3 more times. My brother and my cousin were going to go again, actually, very recently, but decided, or something came up and they didn't go. But I've only seen it the one time. I do want to see it again. But yeah, I'll give it an 8 out of 10 for Avatar The Way of Water. Luke Ponto, have you seen the movie Summer of 84? No. Summer of 84. Nope, I've not seen that. That sounds very 80s or 90s. I don't know. Well, Summer of 84, it's probably in 1984. No, I haven't seen that movie. I haven't heard of that movie. Sixberry, what if James Cameron and Christopher Nolan joined the MCU? Well, based on his comments, I don't think James Cameron has any interest. Christopher Nolan's done superhero movies before. I don't think the Marvel Cinematic Universe is something that he would be interested in doing, though. Not his kind of movie. But James Cameron, one thing that's kind of interesting about like people like James Cameron, who have kind of like bagged on the Marvel movies and have kind of like mocked the comic book movie genre, is when I'm watching Avatar The Way of Water, I mean, is he really doing that much different from what the comic book movies are doing? Like, they're big CGI motion capture heavy movies. They have action and stuff like that. It doesn't feel like, of all the people, he should be looking down at the comic book movies and kind of like sticking his nose in the air. Christopher Nolan's a bit more of a grounded filmmaker, but James Cameron does sci-fi and all that stuff. I think he could make an awesome Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, except for the fact that it would never get made because, like, day one, James Cameron would be telling them where to stick it with all the notes that the Marvel Studios gives to their directors, because it's got to fit in with their universe. You have to do certain things and you can't do certain things. And James Cameron, I could just see him flipping the bird at Kevin Feige in the first 2 minutes of the meeting. So I don't think James Cameron would be a team player for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Luke Ponto, I did a watch along for the Terrifier 2 a few days ago, and it was so freaking gory and even gorier than the first Terrifier. Well, good to know, because I don't want to see it. I don't want to watch that at all. I did see that you and Frisky were doing your watch along. I was thinking of jumping in there, but I didn't. But I hope you guys enjoyed the movie. Six Barry. Hashtag get well soon, Jeremy Renner. Yeah, man, that's unfortunate. That was shocking to hear. The good news is that he hasn't really come out and said that he's completely okay, but he did post on Instagram recently. We've seen a picture of him. He's alive. That's good. But man, if you guys haven't heard, Jeremy Renner, I think it was on the New Year. I think the report came out officially that he was helping a stranded person that was stuck in the road. He was driving his snowplow, and something happened. We don't have a full detail of what happened, but it ran over his leg. And apparently it must have run over more than just his leg, because he went in with chest trauma as well. So I don't know if he's kept the leg, if he lost the leg, if they saved the leg. We don't know very much at all, but hopefully he's doing better. I think he was in critical but stable condition, but he might be out of the critical condition at this point if he's posted on Instagram. But yeah, that was scary, and that was, yeah, hopefully he's doing okay. Hopefully he's doing well. Where are we at here? Did a jump. Sixberry. Netflix be making an anime for Stranger Things. Are they making an anime for Stranger Things? I know they're doing Stranger Things spin-off series, but an anime for Stranger Things. I haven't seen that. I wouldn't really be interested in that. I'm not a big anime guy, as you guys know. But man, I love Stranger Things. I'm sad to see it end in season 5, but I'm also really looking forward to seeing what they do with season 5. But they have a high bar with season 4. Man, season 4 was so good. Sixberry, I'm so freaking excited for the Flash movie. Finally, someone else is excited for the Flash movie. I don't know why people have been taking the stuff going on with Ezra Miller and applying it to the Flash movie and being like, we hate everything he's doing, so this movie's gonna suck. Like, I just don't understand that mentality. I guess not everybody can separate the art from the artist, and not everybody should, and I don't think necessarily every artist should be separated from the art. But I don't know, it's just weird to me to be like, I'm not excited for this movie because the star sucks. But what about the director of it? What about Michael Keaton coming back as Batman? What about the cast? What about the effects and the story that could be told? Like, I just think it sounds like a really cool movie, and I like some of the ideas that they're bringing in and the stuff that they're doing. I'm not going to let the actor in real world, like, I'll let the consequences deal with him, with the court and all that, or with them, with the court and all that stuff. But I don't want to let that affect the movie for me, because I think the movie has so much going for it, and I'm super excited for it. So I'm glad to hear that someone else is excited for it too, Sixberry. Sixberry, we're going to get the trailer 2 for Quantumania on the 9th. Yep, that's the rumor. I think it's at a football game, so I'll just watch it on YouTube when it drops, like it always does. But yeah, we're gonna get another trailer for Quantumania on the 9th. Sounds about right. They've definitely been doing trailers closer to the release dates of the movies lately, which I kind of like. But at the same time, I'm like, I do kind of miss when we got a trailer like a year out from the movie. But I'm looking forward to seeing the trailer. I might do a trailer reaction to it. I've kind of died down on trailer reactions. I just, the setup process to get the camera recording and get the trailer and then do the editing and stuff like that. Sometimes I just want to watch a trailer and enjoy it. But I might do a trailer reaction for a Quantumania trailer too. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it. Sixberry, probably Loki season 2 or Echo trailer next month. I don't know about Echo, because there were rumors or reports, whatever you want to call them, that Echo might be getting delayed, or that Echo's going through some production problems. So I don't know if we're going to get a trailer for Echo, but Loki Season 2, I would not be surprised if depends when Loki Season 2 premieres. Does it premiere in the summertime? Because it might be too early for them to drop a trailer, but I don't know when even March, if it came out in March, that would be too early. I don't know, we'll see. Sixberry, I love your studio, by the way. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm trying to make it look less than just a spare bedroom in my basement suite. um, I got this for Christmas from my parents. That's really nice. I really liked having that because I needed to fill that space. And putting the movie palette long ways kind of fills the wall a bit more. I always loved these shelves for the figurines. It's all a mess and crappy over there. But yeah, hopefully this isn't looking too bad. So I appreciate the kind words about that. Thank you, Sixberry. Luke Ponto, I got a few Blu-rays in the mail today. Ooh, what are they? You're just gonna leave me hanging, Luke? What mails? What did you get in the mail? Luke Ponto, what are the top three scariest movies to you? Oh man, I'm not good at ranking that right off the top of my head. I know that Sinister is up there because Sinister freaked me right out. I know Hereditary's up there because Hereditary disturbed me. A third one? What's the third scariest? Sinister, Hereditary. I can't think of a third one off the top of my head. Not at the moment, anyways. Sorry, Luke. But those two for sure. Scariest movies. Caleb Richardson. I'm so excited that they're getting rid of the Michael Bay continuity and Rise of the Beast is a sequel to Bumblebee and takes place in the 90s. Yeah, it was kind of confusing at the end of Bumblebee if that was supposed to transition eventually into the Michael Bay movies of Transformers. But yeah, I think you're right. I think they've kind of scrapped Michael Bay's continuity. I think this is its own thing. I think it's its own origin, if you can say that. I think there's definitely arguments to be made that things in the movie of Bumblebee and probably in Rise of the Beast will not line up with Michael Bay's movies. And I'm done with Michael Bay's movies. You know, he did 5, which, love him or hate him, that's incredible. That Michael Bay consistently did 5 huge budget blockbuster Transformer movies. I can't even imagine the work that went into them and how stressful that probably was to work on for 5. And he did them over the course of like a decade. So that's pretty crazy too. But yeah, it's time for him to move on. It's time for him to go do Ambulance 2 or whatever he's going to do. And I'm looking forward to seeing what new blood can bring into this franchise. Sixberry, Evil Dead Rises trailer was not disappointing. That's awesome, guys. I'm glad that you guys had fun with the Evil Dead Rises trailer. I'm not watching it. I'm just not doing it. I saw the picture on the trailer and I was like, ugh, gross. That lady's freaky. Luke Ponto, The Last Night is one of the worst movies ever. Yeah, Last Night wasn't good. I do take The Last Night over Age of Extinction, though. Age of Extinction, I just can't watch Age of Extinction again. I really cannot do it. But yeah, the Last Night I would take over Age of Extinction. Fans of Something. Well, welcome, Fans of Something. Thanks for joining, man. Thanks for being here. Eddie and Haley from Fans of Something. You guys should go check out their channel if you haven't yet. Hey, Zach, check your Insta messages. Sent you a potential date for the appearance on Fans of Something Live. Oh, okay, dude. Sorry. I'm terrible at checking messages. But yes, I will do that. Thanks for letting me know on here, man. And yeah, I mean, I'm potentially going on Fans of Something Live. So if you want to find out what that is, go to their channel, check them out, and I might be on there. We'll see what happens. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for coming in here, Fans of Something. Luke Ponto. What's a movie that you wish you could go back in time and unsee? And unsee as in like I never want to like I wish I hadn't seen it, or unsee as in like I want to see it again for the first time. A movie that I would go back in time and unsee is the meme dead to say Morbius? Can I say Morbius? No. Let's see here. What's a movie that was so Cats? I'll go with Cats. If I could go, even though it gave a fun video and I had a fun time with my brother going to that monstrosity, if I could go back in time and unsee Cats and just erase it from my memory, I would not mind doing that. I can't believe I saw that in theaters. And if I could go, and to take your question on the flip side, if I could go back in time and unsee a movie and see it for the first time again, either if it was a theater movie, oh man, there's so many good ones. I would do Infinity War. Infinity War or Endgame, because that was just, I remember the moment Infinity War and Endgame started, and I was just sitting in the chair of the theater and I was shaking. I was so nervous and so excited of what was going to happen. My jaw was just agape. It was just on the floor for the first 10 minutes, 20 minutes actually, from the time the movie started to like when Spider-Man gets taken up into space after the battle in New York. my jaw was just on the ground with how like what I was seeing on screen in Infinity War. If I could unsee that and see it again for the first time, I'd be so happy. Caleb Richardson, I'm a little bummed that they didn't continue the naming scheme of the second Ant-Man film and called Ant-Man 3 Ant-Man the Wasp and Stature, given Scott's daughter is becoming a superhero. Oh, her superhero name is going to be Stature. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, uh, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is a better title, to be to be honest, Caleb. Um, it's cool that if they did it include her superhero name, that would be cool. But Ant-Man the Wasp and Stature, that doesn't quite hit the same as Quantumania. Quantumania, it's like, whoa, what's that? But I can see what you mean. I see what you're getting at, man. Luke Ponto. Every time I get the trailer for Super Mario's in theaters, I feel like a giddy kid. Oh my goodness, Luke. That's awesome, man. I'm so happy for you. I hope this movie is the best movie ever for you, man. I hope this movie is the best movie ever made simply just so that you can have the best time of your life, man. Sixberry, I feel like Barbie might be like La La Land. At least similar vibe. I liked La La Land. La La Land was good. I thought La La Land was great. I was kind of bummed when they won, and then it ended up being the wrong Oscar, and Moonlight actually won, which I never saw. Was it Moonlight? Yeah, I never saw Moonlight, but La La Land was. I really enjoyed that movie. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if Barbie's like that. I did like the teaser though. I thought the teaser was really cool with the 2001 Space Odyssey kind of parody with all the young girls smashing the old baby dolls and Margot Robbie appearing like the. I don't know what it was called in 2001 Space Odyssey, but that giant platinum bar. It was Margot Robbie instead. I thought it was a very inventive teaser. Lou Ponto, what's a movie that makes you hyped as you're watching it? I mean, not to repeat things, but I still feel that way with Infinity War and Endgame. I still get hyped when I watch Baby Driver's one that I get hyped with. I love watching Baby Driver. And I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie and sit and be like I'm sitting there going, yeah, like at the end of Endgame and Infinity War, like I was in the theater. But I still like I'll give a fist pump, I'll give like a yeah, or I'll just have this feeling of like, oh man, like when that snap moment is just it's one of those movie moments that I'm never gonna forget watching in theaters. And every time I see it, I'm just like, oh man, he did it. Like oh, that's just crazy that they went there, that they did that. And the end of Back to the Future, when Doc is trying to get the lightning and everything's going wrong and Marty's coming through and he's just about to hit 88 miles per hour and Doc finally gets the lightning and it transfers through the rod and Marty zooms back. I get like a, yeah, and Sylvester, or what's his name? Oh man, I can't remember the composer's name, but the score is bellowing as he's driving down the road. Like, oh man, that gets me going. I love that moment. Love that movie moment. Caleb Richardson, I can't wait for the movie Boldly Going Nowhere. It's a dark comedy about the first astronaut crew to leave the solar system and their engines shut down and they're stranded in orbit around Pluto. Wow, now I can't wait to see that movie. That sounds awesome. I love movies like that. I loved Gravity with Sandra Bullock, and I loved The Martian with Matt Damon. Like, stranded in space stories are just so interesting, so much fun. I'm going to have to keep an eye out for that, man. Thank you for putting that on my radar. I'm going to look for that. Boldly Going Nowhere. Luke Ponto, best and worst theater experience. My best is between Jackass Forever and Violent Night. Worst for me is between Avatar: The Way of Water and Firestarter. Why was Avatar: The Way of Water one of your worst experiences? Because I know you liked the movie. Are we just going from last year, from 2022? There was, okay, it wasn't like my worst theater experience of 2022, but the Avatar: The Way of Water thing did kind of stick out to me because when I went to go see that movie, I was like 4 or 5 rows from the screen, so I was pretty close, and I was sitting next to this family, and the wife, and I can't blame her too much because they've got their young kids. I mean, they were like 9 or 10 years old, I don't know, but the wife was sitting next to the kids, and she was close to me, and we would watch the movie, and she'd be like, so what do you think's gonna happen now? That girl came from the pregnant lady that's dead, and we don't know who the father is. Do you think you can find out who the father is? And I was just kind of sitting there watching the movie in my head going, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. And then, like, we were watching it in 3D, so the fish would come by, and she'd be like, "Look at the fishies. Can you grab it? Can you reach out and get the fish?" And I was just like, "Shut up, shut up. No, they can't. It's 3D, you freaking idiot." So I got a little bit annoyed in my Avatar The Way of Water theater experience. But to her credit, she was keeping the kids engaged. The kids weren't being rambunctious. When I saw Violent Night, there was a couple, another family that was down at the end of the row from me, and they had two kids, and the young kid, I don't know, he just had tons of energy, and he was just hyped up, and he was like getting up and trying to go all over the theater, and they'd have to call him back to come back to the seat, and it was kind of distracting during Violent Night. But the best theater experience this year that I had, what was the best theater experience that I had this year? I don't know. I really liked seeing the Batman because I saw it late because it was the first movie I could go back to after the COVID stuff got figured out, and because it was so late, I had like no one in my theater. It was just me and my brother and my cousin and stuff like that. Oh no, my cousin wasn't there. It was just me and my brother, and it was just like having the theater to myself watching the Batman, and it was just so awesome. I loved that. I love having the theater to myself whenever I get it. But yeah, anyways, those were some of the worst, I guess you could say. Caleb Richardson. I don't understand the appeal of the Barbie movie. It's a children's toy property. Why are they making a serious live-action movie starring dramatic actors Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling? Nailed it on the head, dude. I mean, the fact that it's a children's toy property, you can take a children's toy property and make it into an adult movie. I mean, Barbie's been around since like what, the 50s, the 40s, maybe it was the 60s and 70s. But the point is, Barbie's been around for decades and decades and generations. She's a part of a lot of people's, almost probably every girl's growing up life, and so you can take properties that were from. Like if they're that old, if they're decades and generations old, you can take a kid's property and make it an adult. That's why one of the things I'm talking about with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies and shows is that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, in their comics, they were gritty, they were dark, they were violent, and so much time has passed from, like, I guess the 80s is when the Turtles premiered, that there are adult people who grew up with the Turtles. You can make adult, more serious, mature Turtles content for them, and they'd come. And for Barbie, I can see the appeal to some people who grew up with Barbie and want a mature Barbie movie, I guess. But I don't know. I can't answer that for you because I'm in the same boat. I don't understand the hype for it just yet. Besides the fact that Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling, and it's got a good director and all that stuff going on for it, I don't know. I think it's kind of, I just don't get it. I'm like you. I just don't get it. I haven't seen enough yet to get it. Luke Ponto, I might see Puss in Boots: The Last Wish again if I get a chance. Yeah, man. I mean, if you get a chance, why not? Am I gonna go see Puss in Boots in theaters? I really want to. I'm seeing Megan on the. I don't know. I feel like I'm just gonna miss it in theaters. I can only see so much. But yeah, if you have the chance, dude, go do it. Luke Ponto, Summer of '84 is a movie about a group of kids that think that their neighbor that is a cop is actually a serial killer, and it's about them trying to find out. That sounds interesting. Luke Ponto, Summer of '84 came out in 2018. Yep, I was way off. So that must have been like an underrated, smaller movie that came out in 2018 because I never heard of that in 2018. Luke Ponto, I loved Terrifier 2, but man, it was gory. Kind of scary, to be honest. Wow, interesting. So you found it scary? I didn't think you'd find it scary. That means I'm going to find it terrifying. Yeah, I'm probably not going to see Terrifier 2. I mean, that's not a movie that I enjoy. It's not a movie for me. Sixberry, Wednesday versus Stranger Things. I haven't started Wednesday yet. So many people have told me to watch Wednesday that I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, I should probably watch Wednesday. But I just haven't gotten around to watching it, so I got to go with Stranger Things. But I've seen her dance on my timeline like 500 times. Like that Wednesday dance is just everywhere. Or it was. It's kind of slowed down a little bit now, but I've seen stuff from the show. Nothing that I've seen from the show has like made me really want to watch the show. The thing that's really made me want to watch the show is the word of mouth that everyone keeps telling me. So we'll see. I'll probably watch it when no one cares about it anymore. Luke Ponto, I got Summer of '84 Hellraiser 4-pack, which includes Bloodline, Inferno, Hellseeker, and Hellworld, and Bros. Oh, that's all that you got in the mail. Awesome, dude. That's awesome. I'm happy for you, man. Sixberry, I know, right? Peeps hate Ezra Miller for something he did, and he apologized to it. People are so nostalgic sometimes. Anyways, I love the Flash and whoever plays his role. Um, I mean, I'm trying like the peeps hate Ezra Miller for something he did and he apologized to it. I can see what you're getting at. I mean, he did a number of things. He was a bad egg for a little bit. And then he did come out, he did release a statement with an apology. I'm someone who's pretty quick to forgive. He didn't do anything against me. If Ezra Miller is genuinely sorry and genuinely feels bad for what he did and wants to move forward, I'm someone who's like, yeah, I'll forgive you. Like, you had stuff going on, I'm sure, in your life. I don't know what's going on. If you're truly remorseful for what you did, as a fan, I'll forgive. It has to be like legal consequences because he did break the law. He did do some terrible things to some innocent people. So, I think we just lost. Did we just lose the Wi-Fi? Oh, that was weird. I think we lost Wi-Fi for a second. Let me know if it's okay, guys. I think we're still here. Anyways, I'm gonna keep going, but yeah. So, but some people just see it as a statement and just see it as his PR team. So, the actions have to prove it by not doing stuff like that anymore. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the movie. Sixberry says, by the way, the Flash TV series is gonna be lit too. On the CW, the Flash TV series is going to be lit. Sorry, guys, I'm a little distracted because the thing popped up saying that OBS disconnected and then it said it reconnected. So I thought we lost the show for a second, but I have the live feed up here, so it looks like it's still going. So sorry if that happened, guys. I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, the Flash TV show on the CW, if that's what you mean. I don't know if they're doing a new Flash TV show, but that's ending soon. I dropped off that show at around season 7. I do want to finish it, though. Once it's all done, I'll go back to it and I'll finish it. But I really enjoyed the Flash show on CW. Grant Gustin was great up until about season 5, and then I started to lose interest. Sixberry, what happened to What If 2? I think What If Season 2 is still coming out. I think What If Season 2 is scheduled to come out this year, actually. I'd have to look into that a little bit more, but I'm pretty sure I saw on the TV schedule for this year that What If Season 2 was on there. If not this year, 2024. Caleb Richardson, I had heard that Joe Keery had pitched a Stranger Things spinoff centered around his character post Season 5. It's the 90s, he's married and has 2 kids, and they decide to move back to Hawkins. I really like Joe Keery. I love Steve in Stranger Things. I don't know if I'd be interested in that. It just kind of sounds like they'd be doing Stranger Things again, but with Steve and his 2 kids, or it would focus on his 2 kids. I don't know. It seems to me it could be repetitive or a rehash of Stranger Things. But I really do like that character. I like that actor, so I'd watch it. I'd give it a chance. But the pitch, I don't know. I don't know if we're ever going to see that hit the light of day. Caleb Richardson. It was apparently just a sitcom in the Stranger Things universe, so Netflix didn't go for it. Oh, okay. He was pitching a sitcom for Stranger Things, being married, and okay, yeah, Netflix didn't go for it. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not surprised by that. Sixberry, not a big fan of horror. Yeah, me neither. Luke Ponto, what about The Ring? The Ring. I mean, when I watched it, it was a movie. When I watched it, you can watch the movie commentary I did in October if you want to about this. While it was going on, it was tense in the moment. The filmmaking, the editing, the acting, the way that the story unfolded kept me in suspense the entire time. But when I look back on the movie, it's not the scariest movie I've ever seen. And now that I know how it goes and that I've seen it, I could watch that movie pretty easily now, I think. But in the moment, when I was just like in the story, when I was in the moment of the movie, just letting it enwrap me in it, I was buying into everything. Everything that they were wanting to make me feel, I felt. I felt the suspense. I felt the tension. But yeah, I probably wouldn't feel that as much now if I watched it again. But Hereditary and Sinister are 2 movies that even now that I've seen them, I don't want to go back to because I know I'll feel that same dread again. So that's the difference for me. Sixberry, any idea about the plot of Across the Spider-Verse? Not really. They're kind of keeping that under wraps. I know that it involves Spider-Man 2099. Um, I've only seen theories. There's no real plot about it, but I'm looking forward to checking it out. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it. I've been vocal on the channel already before. Like, I don't love Into the Spider-Verse as much as everybody else loves it. I think it's a good movie, but with Spider-Man content, I come for the Spider-Man in New York who works at the Daily Bugle, who has constantly be beaten to the ground and still be the hero that he is, and he works alone, and that's why I fell in love with Peter Parker and Spider-Man. That's the Spider-Man stuff that I love. The multiverse stuff with all of these multiple Spider-Man worked really well for me in No Way Home because it was Spider-Man that were solo that I fell in love with and were like from my childhood to my adult life I've loved and grew up with, and seeing them come together was magical and amazing. But the Spider-Verse movies with all of the hundreds of Spider-Man that are out there and stuff like that, it's fun, but it's not like what I love about Spider-Man. It's not my favorite Spider-Man stuff, but I'm looking forward to Across the Spider-Verse and seeing what they got. Sixberry, Venom 3 next year. Venom 3, oh yeah, okay, Venom 3 is coming in 2024. Yeah, I'm still kind of take it or leave it for Venom. I did not like Venom 1 when I saw that movie in 2018. I saw it with a friend, and that movie is kind of like a great example of why I love talking about movies with people, because we went into that theater, me and my friend, we went into that theater, we sat down, we watched the same images, the same story unfold on the screen, and by the end of the movie, I remember when Venom and what the heck was that? Was the gray Venom's name? I can't remember what the villain was called. Riot? Yeah, I think it was Riot. It was Venom and Riot, and they were fighting on screen, and it was just like gray and slightly darker gray just mushing together on screen, and I was sitting there going, this is like awful. This looks bad. I hate this. And then I turned to my friend, and he he leans in, and he just whispers, he goes, this is awesome. And that's when I knew. I was like, oh, what I'm seeing on screen is the same thing you're seeing, but you're seeing it completely differently. And when we walked out of that movie, I said, I thought that movie was terrible. And he said he loved it. He thought it was great. So that, and Venom 2, I was a little bit more on board with. Let There Be Carnage, I had more fun with, and I actually can say that I like Venom 2. I still don't think it's great, but I at least like it, whereas I hated the first film. Venom 3, I'm just kind of like, you already like destroyed the Carnage. Like, Carnage is the best villain you could do, and you killed him in the second film. Spoiler alert. So I don't know what they're going to do for Venom 3. Unless they find a way to bring in Spider-Man, which at this point I feel like would just feel gimmicky. I don't know what they're going to do for Venom 3. I'm not holding my breath to see it. Let's just say that. Luke Ponto. I wish I could go back in time and see Infinity War in theaters because I didn't see it in theaters when it came out. Oh, dude, I feel so bad for you. Infinity War, dude, is the most hyped. No movie has ever and probably will never beat the hype that I had for Infinity War, because we found out that Infinity War was the end of Phase 3 in 2015. Marvel did this big, huge presentation in Anaheim, and all the YouTubers like Jeremy Johns, Chris Stuckman, The Smos Know, Collider at the time, they all covered it, and it laid out their entire timeline from Captain America Civil War, which at first they named Serpent Society, but it was a fake title, and they revealed that it was Civil War, and it went all the way to what they said they were leading up to, which was Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2. And it was said to bring every single character from the Marvel movies that we have seen up to this point into one movie, including the Guardians of the Galaxy, which at that point was separate from the rest of the MCU. At least it felt that way. And I was jazzed out of my mind to see that. From 2015 to 2018, I was salivating to see this movie. I tried to find everything I could find. I looked up every interview with any actor from Marvel to find any bits of information about Infinity War. I watched all of the featurettes on the Blu-rays that came out to see if there was any chance of being a sneak peek of Infinity War. I think it was May 2017. I think it was. They released like a featurette of them on the first day of set. It was Tom Holland, it was Robert Downey Jr., and it was Chris Pratt, and they were standing on the Titan set and announcing that they started production on Infinity War. And there was a storyboard footage picture that they put on the screen, and it was simply just Thor with his hammer, and it was from the ground up. It was that kind of view, and Rocket Raccoon was standing beside him with his gun shooting. And just that image alone of seeing Rocket next to Thor's leg as the hammer was next to Rocket, I teared up. Just from that storyboard image that they released in that featurette, I teared up. I could not believe that was an image I was going to see in live action. And so when that day came, when Infinity War hit theaters, dude, I was like just shaking. I was so nervous. I was so excited. And I'm just so happy that movie did not let me down. Because Infinity War and Endgame could have been the Spider-Man 3s, could have been the X-Men Last Stands of the franchise, and it wasn't. It was everything that I could have dreamed and more. I loved it. And I mean, not to brag. I'm sorry you missed that experience, man. Luke Ponto, Alan Silvestri, thank you, was the composer for Back to the Future. Thank you. Yeah, his name, for some reason, it was coming out Sylvester Stallone, and I was like, no, it's not Sylvester Stallone. I was trying to say Silvestri, but my brain would not let me. Thank you, Luke, for having my back with that, man. Luke Ponto, there were 3 guys that were next to me that wouldn't shut up throughout the movie. Oh, that's why your experience with Avatar sucked. Yeah, I'm kind of similar to mine. I mean, it wasn't 3 guys, but it was, look at the fish, little kid, grab it. It's like, no, lady, he can't grab it. Stop giving him false dreams. Ocean's Reviews. Hey, Zach. Well, hey, Ocean's Reviews. Thanks for being here tonight, man. Thanks for joining us. Happy to have you here. Sixberry, have you started earning from YouTube yet? I'm going to let you guys in on how that works, because whenever I watch channels about like YouTube, I feel like they only scratch the surface. They don't let you know the actual details. So here's how this actually works. In order to get into the YouTube partnership program, you need to hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours on your channel within the year. Every year that resets. So I was able to hit the 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 watch hours. So I got into the YouTube partnership program, so I can monetize on my videos. But YouTube takes, what is it? It's like 30 or 40%, and then like some of the ad revenue gets taken and stuff like that. And the big thing is YouTube doesn't give you payment. They have a threshold that you have to hit, and the threshold that you have to hit is $100. Your channel, after they take all like their cut away, your channel has to hit $100 before they will send money into. You have to sign up for a Google AdSense as well. That's the account that they'll distribute money into once you hit that $100. And I mean, my channel is so small. Like my channel is still, I would call it a beginning channel. I'm very grateful for all of you guys and the subscriber count that we've hit. We hit 1,400 subscribers in the new year. I'm super proud. I'm super grateful and thankful to you guys for hitting that number. And I love making content. I love doing these live streams. I love hanging out with you guys and talking about movies. But my channel views are only maybe a couple hundred views at the most for a video. I think I'm getting to the point where I'm consistently kind of hitting like 100 views per video, maybe two. I'm getting close to like 150, 200 being the average for a video. That is about, once it's all said and done, 70 cents. maybe 40 cents. It's in the 30 cents to the 70 cents kind of ratio. So at the moment, I'll let you guys, I don't care. At the moment, my YouTube account has accumulated about $10. So that threshold of $100 that you have to hit before you even get paid, I'm a bit away from that. I'm just a tiny bit away from that. So yeah, making money on YouTube, guys, is not just an easy thing. It's not just once you get into the YouTube partnership program, you get 70 cents here and $1 here and $2 here. Maybe you'll get $5, maybe $10. Maybe it was like that one day, but at this moment where I'm at in the YouTube partnership program, you have to hit $100 before they'll even pay you. And the way they pay you is actually interesting. They only pay you at the end of each month. That's what it said anyways when I signed up for when I got into the partnership program. At the end of each month is when you get paid. So it's not like a bi-weekly thing or a weekly thing. It's the end of each month you get a payment. So there's a little behind the scenes YouTube stuff that I'm sure some of you are interested in, because this is the kind of stuff that I wanted to learn about, and I feel like channels, whether they weren't supposed to be, or maybe I'm not supposed to be, maybe I just broke a rule that I don't know about, but they don't seem as open to that kind of stuff like I want them to be. So I don't know, guys. There you go. I hope that helps someone else out. And hopefully I don't lose my YouTube partnership program for a breach of contract or something that I don't know about. Six Berry. Sadly, Megan isn't in my theater. Oh man, that sucks. I definitely feel for you. I have had so many movies not come to my theater because they've just been too small, or the bigger movies are taking up too much screens. Like we had Bones and All, that cannibal love story with Timothée Chalamet. That played in my theater for 6 days, and then it was gone because they needed more screens for Avatar: The Way of Water. So, I mean, I wasn't interested in seeing that movie anyways, but some people that I know were interested in seeing it, and they were like, it's gone. It's only been like 6 days. Where did it go? And their theater got taken up by Avatar. I think it was Avatar. Sixberry. I really want Megan and Chucky to team up. I think it was on Twitter. The official Chucky page was like interacting with the Megan page. I thought that was kind of fun. And I thought there was a little promo or something that I saw where Chucky was talking about Megan and they were on screen together. Did I fever dream that? Or was that a thing? I thought it was a thing. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'll have to look again. Sixberry, good morning, by the way. Oh, well, good morning, Sixberry. Where I'm at, it's almost 9 p.m. So not quite the morning, but I'm happy to have you here this morning. I don't know how early it is for you, but thank you so much for starting your day off like this with us and on the channel. Luke Ponto, it's still going good. It's still going. Oh, this must have been when my connection said it was okay. That's good. It's still going good. Okay. Sixberry says, "Are you an Arrowverse fan?" I was an Arrowverse fan for a very long time. My gateway into it was The Flash. I loved The Flash. I only watched a couple episodes of season 1 of Arrow. I didn't get into that one right away, but I liked his appearances on The Flash. And I didn't get into Supergirl. I really liked Legends of Tomorrow. Batwoman didn't work for me when that came out. But the Flash was kind of like the Flash and DC Legends of Tomorrow is the Arrowverse ones that I really stuck with up until a couple seasons. I did have plans. I wanted to watch Arrow, but I was waiting until I could get like the seasons available to me because they were hard to find at the time. But at this point, I've kind of just lost interest. But the Crisis on Earth X, I think that's what it was called. That was one of the best TV crossovers I've ever seen. When they had like the Nazi world coming into the Arrowverse, and you had Flash and Supergirl and Arrow and the Legends all team up. That was like one of the best crossovers on TV I've ever seen. Crisis on Infinite Earths was okay. It wasn't the best, but that's the last crossover that I watched, was the Crisis on Infinite Earths. But I did hear that Flash Armageddon was good, so I'm gonna check that out eventually. But yeah, I've kind of fallen off the Arrowverse for a number of years now, but I was pretty into it when I was in like middle school, high school. Luke Ponto, I am halfway through season 10 of The Walking Dead, which I loved. Season 1, 2, 5, and 9. Oh, you loved season 1, 2, 5, and 9. There's a big gap in there. I really enjoyed season 3 and 4. I'm mixed on 8. I didn't care for season 6, and I hated season 7. Oof. That's rough, man. I never got into The Walking Dead. I tried a couple episodes, but I'm not like, zombies aren't really my thing, so I didn't really care. Sixberry. After Stranger Things 5, I want another teenage group in the 21st century fighting upside down and new mythical villains. Following idea could be a spin-off series. Possibly. I mean, I know that they've got spin-off series planned. I know that they're doing spin-off series for Stranger Things. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know if the Duffer Brothers are involved in the spin-offs though, and that gets me a little bit eerie. I think Sean Levi is involved though. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Stranger Things 5. That's kind of what I'm focused on, and then anything that comes out after that, whether it's just desperately trying to keep this franchise alive or will legitimately be good content, we'll have to wait and see. Lou Ponto, that's why The Black Phone is better than Sinister, because of a satisfying ending. I completely agree. I completely agree with you, Luke. The ending to Sinister, I hated. It was so just unnecessarily dark and sad. But the ending to The Black Phone was legitimately exciting and thrilling and satisfying, and I loved it. If that movie had ended sadly, I probably wouldn't like it as much as I did. Sixberry. Excuse me. Venom Let There Be Kada? Oh, Venom Let There Be Carnage could have been more violent. I mean, Carnage had zero reason to hate Venom. They could have done an R-rated movie with more blood and spines. Yep, they could have. I mean, they got away with quite a bit for a PG-13 Venom Let There Be Carnage movie. I mean, there was some gruesome kills in there. There's some satisfying ones in there. I don't necessarily think it needed to be R. It would have been cool if it was R, but if it was the same movie and the same story, it wouldn't have changed much for me. I still wouldn't have been that hyped over it. Like I said, I like it. I think it's fine, but yeah, I guess an R rated could have been cool. Sixberry, are you in Instagram? I'm on Instagram. Yep, I'm on actually I'm on Instagram, and I like, it's just at Zach Milne Talks Movies. That's oh wait, actually my Instagram might be different. My Instagram, hold on, what's my Instagram? I had it as something when I was younger, but I thought I changed it. Oh yeah, it's at Zach Milne Talks Movies. You can just search Zach Milne Talks Movies, you'll find it. I'm also on TikTok now. Zach Milne Talks Movies. I signed up for that yesterday just to see if that does anything for the channel going forward. I'm on Twitter. I think I'm on Twitter at Milne Movies still, but I might have changed it to at Zach Milne Talks Movies. I'm trying to get everything to be at Zach Milne Talks Movies to keep it consistent. But if you search Zach Milne Talks Movies on Instagram, you'll find me. I don't post much. I'll post like YouTube stuff. I'll post reels that are shorts on YouTube. And occasionally I'll post something from my personal life, a picture or something. But I'm not a big Instagram user, aside from promotion for the channel. Josh Jones, hi. Well, hi, Josh. Thanks for joining us tonight, man. Happy to have you in here. Charles Clayton, well, thanks for joining us tonight, Charles. Happy to have you in here, man. Which romantic couple do you prefer in the Spider-Man films, Peter and MJ or Peter and Gwen? Easily Peter and Gwen. I prefer the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films to The Amazing Spider-Man, but Peter and MJ's relationship is the weakest link. I think in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, I don't buy the chemistry between Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst, to be honest, in those films. But Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone were dynamite. They were just electric together. They were so entertaining to watch. Even if that movie, I mean, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 isn't the greatest movie. I enjoy it a little bit more nowadays than I did before. But even with that plot being messy and all the characters and all the stuff, Peter and Gwen are endlessly entertaining to watch. They were so good, and it helps that Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone were dating in real life, so that chemistry transferred over onto film. But man, were they freaking adorable. They might actually just be the best couple in any comic book movie ever. I love them. I can't think of a comic book couple that rivals them, to be honest. Sixberry, my most hyped movie was Endgame. Yeah, I was super hyped for Endgame too, but like not like Infinity War. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that it was just a 1-year gap from Infinity War to Endgame. We only had to wait 1 year. But yeah, I was juicing for Endgame. But Infinity War was like from 2015-ish to 2018, so like a 3-year, maybe a 4-year span. I could hardly contain myself. I was so freaking excited. Luke Ponto, what's a 2022 movie that people kept telling you to watch, and once you did, you really enjoyed it? Well, one of the things is you, Luke, The Black Phone. You told me to watch The Black Phone. I watched The Black Phone, and I'm enjoying it. Going to recently, RRR is one that's been recommended for a long time. And as I mentioned, I'm a half an hour into it. I started watching it today, and I'm enjoying it. What I'm seeing is crazy and bonkers, and is pretty cool. So I'm glad I'm starting to watch RRR. But yeah. Other than that, any other movies that I watched that I was glad I did? Probably those two just come to mind for now. Sixberry, finally, someone explained it in a way it makes sense. Thank you, Zach. Oh, okay, you're probably referring back to how I talked about how the money on YouTube works. Yeah, it's a hard it's a hard game to play. And what's interesting too is like I don't fully understand why it works, but and I'm sure it has to do with like taking cuts or like time going on and stuff like that. But I'll like have like in my YouTube studio, it'll say you accumulated $10, and it's like, oh, cool, $10, I'm on my way. And then the next day, I'll go back on my YouTube studio, and it's like you accumulated $7, and I'm like, how did I lose $3? Like, I guess they take it. I don't know how it works, but yeah, it's confusing. I don't fully understand all of it myself, but that's been my experience with it thus far. Luke Ponto, if you know me, Hellraiser is my favorite horror movie. Well, I do know you, and I think you told me that at one point, but I forgot. So I'll try to remember that from now on. Malcolm, aka Mr. Awesome, thank you for joining us tonight. Malcolm, happy to have you here. Do you think Dave Bautista will join the DCEU as Bane? As Bane? That's very specific. I'm gonna say it's a possibility. Will Dave Bautista join the DCEU? I think that's like I'm going 95% guaranteed. I think there's a chance that he will just want to, because he recently came out with a comment about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 saying it's the last time you'll see him play Drax because he wants to go on to do more dramatic roles. Whatever that means, if he wants to go for an Oscar or something, I don't know. But with James Gunn being over there, everyone that works with James Gunn seems to love James Gunn and follow him to the end of the earth from what I've seen. I mean, even when James Gunn was fired from Marvel, the whole cast rallied around and said, we're not doing this movie unless you bring back James Gunn. So he's a liked guy. And I could definitely see Dave Bautista going over to DC and working with James Gunn. Whether it's as Bane, whether it's as another character, I don't know. But I would almost put money on it that we're going to see Dave Bautista in a DC movie by 2025, 2026. We'll see. But as Bane, that's very specific. I don't know. Luke Ponto, I'm sorry, but The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is my least favorite Spider-Man movie. Hey, you know what? For a lot of people, it's their least favorite Spider-Man movie. With No Way Home, I kind of view it now as like an Elseworld Spider-Man adventure. Like The Amazing Spider-Man, I think, is just a little bit too gray and dull for a Spider-Man film. I think I've got reviews for the Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man, and The Amazing Spider-Man 2 on the channel that I did before No Way Home. I redid the reviews before No Way Home. I have major issues personally with how they decided to go about with Peter Parker's origin story in Spider-Man. Yeah, which makes me just less of a fan of The Amazing Spider-Man. Whereas The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is just kind of like a fun Spider-Man cartoon live-action adventure. Yeah, it's got messy characters and plotting and story, but it's more fun for me to watch than The Amazing Spider-Man nowadays, and it's just kind of fun to look at as like an Elseworlds multiverse story that's going on. And I'm so glad that he came back in No Way Home and kind of had a more satisfying ending to his character. Him and Toby, I guess you could say. I still want The Amazing Spider-Man 3, though. I would watch that. My least favorite Spider-Man movie is probably The Amazing Spider-Man, to be honest. The Amazing Spider-Man or Spider-Man 3. But I kind of like Spider-Man 3 in a so bad it's good way. Luke Ponto, and I think this might be the last question we have here. Yep, so if you guys want to put in a couple more questions in the chat, we'll get to them. But if not, this will be our final question of the night. And we're ending it on Luke Ponto. Have you ever played guitar? Yes. Very, very badly. Well, my family, my dad and my grandpa, they're both guitar players. My dad plays the bass. My grandpa legitimately plays guitar and stuff. And my brother has recently gotten into guitar as well. But before my brother got into guitar, my because my family and members of my family were able to play guitar, I wanted to play guitar. So I took guitar class in grade 10 and 11 and 12, which I just never really stuck to it. Like at home, I wouldn't ever play it. It wasn't an interest of mine. I did write when I was dating my wife early on, like really early on. Like if I told you guys I'm just going to tell you guys how early on, but you guys are going to cringe. It's a miracle I'm married. 3 months into dating I think it was 3 months into dating my now wife, I wrote her a song. I wrote a song for her, and I played it for her over video chat, and it's bad. it's a bad thing I did. I'm so thankful that she stayed with me after that, because it was not a good song. It was not a good sounding song, and yeah, I don't know why I did that, but I did. But I haven't really touched the guitar in a number of years. So let's just say that after that embarrassing story. Moving on. Fans of something. Lots of comic book talk here tonight. Personally, not my favorite genre, but very much looking forward to Joker 2. Just sucks it isn't this year. It's all the way to October 2024. Yeah, we do a lot of comic book talk on here. People on I mean, that's kind of I guess you could call it my niche in a way. I love the comic book movies. I love the comic book genre, and we love talking about it here. But yeah, Joker 2. Very interested in Joker 2. Very interested. I really liked the first Joker movie. It sounds like they're just going all out with Joker 2. They're doing a musical. They brought in Lady Gaga. I have hope for it. If Joaquin Phoenix signed back on, I have hope that it's a good screenplay, a good script. But man, yeah. And 2024. It seems like a long ways away, but I feel like that's gonna fly by. I feel like it's gonna be here before we know it. But yeah, I'm very interested to get my first look at that, to get my hands on that, because I don't know what they're doing with Joker 2. It looks insane. It sounds insane. Chillmonger, hey Chillmonger, thanks for being here, man. No, I'm last. Oh, yeah, we'll see. I don't know if there's any more questions after you. Yeah, it looks like you're last. How many views have you given away of water? How many views have I given away of water? Given or gotten? I don't know what you mean. How many views have you given away of water? I'm assuming. One sec. I'm trying to decipher what this means. I'm just gonna assume you mean how many views did I get on my Way of Water review? Which, if you're asking that, I got about last I checked was 230 views. Which, thank you everybody who watched that. That's really good numbers for me, especially for a review. So. Yeah, I'm very thankful for that. I'm just removing some spam. Sorry if I'm a little distracted. I thought I totally got rid of this person, and I did not. Oh, Chillmonger followed up. Okay, Chillmonger. Times you've viewed the film. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I've only seen it once. I only saw it once. The weekend it came out, and then my holidays were just crazy busy with family. Did a lot of family stuff over the holidays and visited a lot of people. So I only had a chance to see it once. I do want to see it again. I don't know if I'm going to realistically see it again, but I do want to see it again. But at this point, yeah, I've only seen it once, man. All right, guys, and with that, I think that's gonna do it for tonight. We went for an hour and 15 minutes. That's really good. That's fantastic. Thank you, everyone who joined me tonight live, watched the replay. Thank you, everyone who listened over at the Zach Milne Talks Movies podcast. Once again, guys, really want to build that podcast up this year. If you haven't already, please do me a favor. Go down in the link in the description below. Subscribe to the podcast. Let's get that number up. Let's if you can't be here for the live shows on YouTube, guys, you can always listen to it in audio form on the podcast. This was a great first episode into 2023. I'm so excited for this year with you guys. Once again, our goal for the year, 2,500 subs, 2,500. If you haven't subscribed already and you're new and you liked what you watched here, we do these live streams every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we talk about movies on here a lot. So go on and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. It helps the video out a lot as well. Guys, once again, thank you so much for being here. I will definitely talk to you guys again very soon. See you next week, same exact time.